to the Bookkeeper 24/7. What's up, what it is, and what it do? I'm your host on this one, Justmic. For anybody wondering where D is, where Daryl is, he's having some medical issues. Nothing too major, but our brother couldn't be here with us. So anybody that's watching this, wondering where he's at, please keep him and his family in prayers. But Daryl is trusting me to go ahead and sit down, host this pod, and I cannot wait to get into it because we got one of the hottest dudes right now that got one of the hottest albums right now, okay? And so let's welcome our family, KNEK, aka WesTheTech.
Man, I appreciate you for having me, man. Hey, man, you picked up the album a lot, man. That's a lot. That's a lot to maintain.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm just keeping it real, man. Everybody need to hear this album for real, bro. But
I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate you making great music, straight up. But we're gonna get into the album a little bit more. Talk about everything that. So first off, let's go ahead and let's get the people who don't know you, who haven't maybe been familiar with you. Let's go ahead and let them know where you from, man. Where you come from?
Of course, yeah. So I'm from South Florida.
Okay.
It's hard to just place one location on it because I've been moving all my life from Miami to West Palm Beach to Coral Springs. I've just been all over the place. Currently, I'm in Hollywood, but I'm just a South Florida dude.
Hollywood, Florida. Okay. Yeah, I know you got some testimonies down there, man.
Oh, of course. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Florida.
That's just the way Florida be, man. There's always something going on. Trials after trials, but we always overcome.
Yeah, Florida be off the chain, man. So yeah, man. But that's what's up, man. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but I'm currently here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah, bro. But so yeah, man. So you from Florida? I know in the first pod that you did with Daryl, you talked about your testimony song. And it's all through your music also. It's all through your music. It's so much that you can draw from and tell us about. So why don't you go ahead and just open up as far as, I know in the first one you talked about your friend that introduced you that used to try to pull you to Bible study for 7 years.
Yeah.
And so then you finally started coming. So once you started opening up that door, man, give us your testimony as far as what that was like, when you started accepting Jesus and started going to those Bible studies.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It was quite of an experience because through those Bible studies and through building those friendships with, still they're my best friends to this day. You get what I'm saying? But like building that, I learned a different type of love. You get what I'm saying? That I never really experienced in my household on that level.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like when you're at home, you got your parents, you got your siblings. It's one of those things is you have to love each other. You get what I'm saying? Because you're family. So it's a different thing that, there's nothing to gain or nothing to lose. It's just you're at a church and they showing you a type of love like you family, even though you're not. You get what I'm saying? And that really opened up and really showed me what God's love is really about. You get what I'm saying? It's more than just family. It's just the love of humanity in general. You know what I mean? And they showed me that type of love, and it's just one of those things. I'm so grateful for it because I needed that, especially during that time.
Right.
Because I didn't feel like there was love anywhere else. You know,
Right.
so I gravitated to it, and I was locked in, man. I was locked in every week, every Sunday, still to this day.
Yeah, man. And I mean, that is the thing about the body. A lot of times us God-fearing, church-going people, we can get a bad rap. But a lot of times we just need to see that you are taking, not just your faith, but our faith serious as well.
Yeah.
So that's good that you started taking it serious. And when they started seeing it, you started receiving the love that they was giving. So, I mean, was it ever a time that you was looking around and you was just like, man, what am I doing here? Cause
Nah.
no,
You know what is, I think what helped is that my mother was raised Catholic.
Okay.
And so I used to go to Catholic church and everything like that, but it was just always a weird feeling for me because we never really talked to anybody. It was get up, sit down, doing all of these particular things. And I went through communion and confessions and all of that stuff, but I was like the one black kid in the class. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I experienced certain things that's the last place I would have thought to experience it. You get what I'm saying? Like, we could all believe in God, but my skin tone still matters. You get what I'm saying? My complexion is still different from y'all, so I'm still getting treated a certain way. You get what I'm saying? So that drew me away from religion for a very long time. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, that don't add up. How do y'all love God but then hate somebody who's a different color than you? You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So once I became part of the Baptist church and I met those friends and I started seeing the opposite of that, it just drew me more and more to it because it was like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. You get what I'm saying? Versus what the other one was. And it was like, that's when I started really opening up and really starting to understand what God's love was.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for seeing that other side of it, you get what I'm saying? I would have had nothing to compare it to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I'll just say, I mean, that is kind of a battle right now where you see on our side, and I don't mean to get controversial or anything like that, but right now we see on our side where some people are lifting our skin tone, our black, our culture up more than Jesus. And then on the other side, we can see where our Caucasian brothers and sisters, don't come for me also, but our Caucasian brothers and sisters, they might be put in. It's funny. I'm just gonna be honest. It's funny because they're cloaking in politics and what's going on with the government, and we see it on both sides. But whenever we do find that body that's being loving, how Jesus tells us to love, definitely want to hold on to that. So
absolutely,
I'm glad that you found that, man. So
absolutely. And it's no shade to any other denomination and things like that. Like, we all serve the same God. It's just there's certain cues that get missed sometimes in certain places. You get what I'm saying? It's like I could call my pastor right now and talk to him, let him know what I'm going through. You cry over the phone with them. You get what I'm saying? Over there, I got to go into that pew. I don't even know who I'm talking to. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just confessing, and he's telling me what to do versus my pastor watched me grow up. You get what I'm saying? It's a whole different level of love. You get what I'm saying? And it's just like, again, no shade to either or, but it's just I connected to that more than anything else because it felt the way it was supposed to be. You get what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, man. So so how, with you growing up with your pastors, like you said, how do they accept your ministry or show support to your ministry as far as with your music, with your studio? For people who don't know, if you haven't watched the first pod with KNEK, you should go watch that because this man is also a producer. He also has a recording studio where he's recording with not just us like-minded people, but he's reaching out to even the lost, the people who's
open door.
Who's tittering. He's opened his door up to them. But so like I said, if you haven't watched the first pod, you should go back and watch it. But the question that I was asking, so what you bringing up to your pastor and them watching you grow and watching your ministry flourish like how it is, man. What type of how do they support you? How do they show love to it?
Man, like big brothers who just proud of their brother. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Because my pastor, he is one of my oldest friends. You
Okay.
get what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So when Pastor Joshua Fakir, so he's the one who actually had the message in the first song, in the intro song,
Right.
Pastor Joshua Fakir. So it was him and his brother, his younger brother Daniel Fakir. I grew up more with Daniel because we were around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Pastor Josh, you know, he went off to college because he's a couple years older than us, but we've always been close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from high school, or well, really middle school for me, all the way up till now. So we just always been in each other's lives one way or the other.
Man.
You know, so it's one of those things is I got to see him become a pastor.
Oh,
you get what
man.
I'm saying? And he got to see me release my first song. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And you know, we both got to see Danny become a fitness trainer and all of these things. And we all know each other's testimonies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. We have no choice but to just support each other and just support and just to glorify what God has done in each and every single one of our lives.
Yeah. And see that really makes me think about how Paul in the New Testament talks about the body, you know. It sounds like, you know, in your ministry or in your church, man, one is the finger, one is the leg, one is the elbow. Y'all all working together for the common goal to make sure people can receive Jesus. So that's awesome, bro. I'm happy for you and them brothers, man. Straight up. That is awesome. We're gonna get into the music. Don't worry.
There's no worries. No, you know what I'm saying? The music is the music. I love this. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I know it's one of those things when people sing it, when they see it for the first time, when they see us with each other and they see us long enough, you know, it's one of those things they're always like, you guys have no idea how lucky you guys are.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Just to have a close friend group that has withstood that test of time.
Yeah, man.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not something that is common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's four of us strong, and we've been like that for a long time. You get what I'm saying? And I'm thankful every day for it because them, like, literally blood is the only thing that separates us.
Right.
You know, all my music videos, that's one of my brothers that I met at the church. You know, he does all my video work. He does all the video. That's June. Daryl Joseph. I watch him grow his videography business the same way I was doing music. So we just all just grow together.
That's awesome because, you know, a little bit about my background. I'm 5 years in saved. You know, I got saved in 2020. And so I'm still kind of new to the church. And, you know, I love my church. I love where the Lord has me and my wife. But I do see some separation within not just my church, but other churches as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, to hear that y'all are working together, coming together, I mean, hey, man, I applaud y'all, man. That's not something that's common. Sometimes that's why I'm learning and finding out. Sometimes that's why people have church hurt, as they call it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, man, the Lord is just shining on you, bro. Man,
I'm just thankful for it, man. I can't even take any credit for it. You get what I'm saying? It's just positioning and being obedient.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. We'll dive into obedience. You know, maybe you give me some tips on obedience because I hear it all through your music. I hear it all. I see it all on your posts. You're real big on obedience, discipline, and I mean, as much as your music, your ministry flourishing, I know you got some great tips for me and the other people out there listening. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, you know, in your music, you talked about this time that you had where you lost your kidneys, and you talked about it on the you know, in your music. You talked about it on the first pod as well. So I just been thinking, you know, listening and tapping into, you know, what type of spiritual struggle did you have at that time, or did you actually get spiritually stronger? Did it help you grow closer to the Lord at that time?
Man, that's a great question. You know, when it came to me, it was one of those things that everyone around me was more worried than I was. And the only reason for that I was like, of course it's a scary thing. Of course it's a very real thing. Of course it's a critical condition.
Yeah.
You know, those are all the facts, right? But
Yeah.
what also is a fact is that God got me through so much worse. He's got me through so many things over the years. So it's one of those things that it was just the next obstacle. It was just the next thing that I was gonna overcome. You know, so I always had that reassurance that I'm gonna get through this because it's always happened. You get what I'm saying? It's like when before David went to go fight Goliath, or even, you know, when he was speaking, he's like, I fought lions and bears. He didn't say how many lions or bears he fought. Yeah. But he was like, the same God that helped me against them lions and the bears is the same God that's gonna help me deliver Goliath and smite Goliath. You get what I'm saying? So it's kind of one of those same things. It's just I was already reassured in the fact that he's got me through before.
Yeah,
he's gonna get me through this one.
Yeah, man. Yo, man, your faith so bold, bro. So bold, man.
Man, I got no choice. I got no choice.
Right. You say all you can do is go come out here blind and make sure that when it come time to fight, you out there swinging, sticking, everything the Lord giving to you, huh? Yeah, man. That's what's up, and that's awesome, man. Because we see sometimes people go through things and they can start questioning God. And so it's always nice when it's brothers like you that can reassure them this ain't the time to question. This is the time to tap in and grab hold of them and know that he has us. So yeah, man, I love that part of your testimony, man. But so give us a second and we'll be right back after this quick break. Hey, yo, what's up with you? I'm Justmic. I'm a Christian artist, a Christian rapper. A little bit more than that, I'm a husband, I'm a truck driver, and bigger than all of that, I'm a servant. So for the last couple years, I've been serving. And my big bro Daryl with his ministry, the Bookkeeper 24/7. Maybe you see me, maybe you haven't. But I've been behind the scenes just helping him out wherever he needs help. And so here recently, he was like, Mike, you need to start your own podcast. He said, I believe in you, what you want to do. So that's what I'm here to tell y'all. I'm starting my own fresh podcast titled Adjustments with Justmic here on the Bookkeeper 24/7 network. And so what I'm trying to do is sit down with more seasoned saints, could be rappers, could just be other servants, could be pastors, could be people starting their own ministries. Wherever the Lord leads me, that's what I'm trying to do. Sit down with them, ask some questions, get their advice, open up a window to discipleship. As I'm learning, as I'm growing, I hope who's ever watching is learning and growing with me. I hope who's ever watching is ready to make those adjustments so that we're not constantly wrestling in the spirit. And that's what my podcast is going to be about. Sitting down with seasoned saints, learning, growing, and making those adjustments together. So be on the watch out for the first episode about to drop soon. It's also going to have other guests that's going to be on other episodes. So I hope that you tune in for Adjustments dropping real soon. Yeah. Doses. So yeah, man. So, we're going to do a little bit more of your testimony, and then we're going to go ahead and get to this journey too. You feel me? And then we're going to dive into this album because I want so many people to, which you are having great success at it. We're going to dive into that too. But I want the people who haven't heard it really, really go and support you, go listen to it. So, but, so yeah, man. When it comes down to you and your recording studio, I know that you said that you put everything that you had into it, everything. And I remember how you talked about you opening your doors up to not just Christian artists, but even the people who need God, even as we deem them the lost. So since this time, how is your recording studio doing? How is your that part of your ministry going as far as bringing those other brothers in? How's that going for you? Yeah,
man, it's the same. It's the same. That's actually where I'm at right now. I'm in the lobby of the studio right now, and it's a blessing. Yeah. It's just an absolute blessing because I'm a youth leader as well at my church, but
Awesome.
this feels like an extension of that. You get what I'm saying? Like it's ministry work in the same level. You know, back at the church, you know, we used to play football outside, and you know, kids would walk up seeing us play football. They want to come play with us.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, all the players who was there is at Bible study a week later. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that the common interest over there was football. The common interest over here is music. The same way Jesus' common interest with the disciples was fishing.
Right.
You know, they all went fishing first. You know what I'm saying? They hung out, they vibed with each other, and then, all right, this is what we're going to do moving forward. You know, it's no different.
Man, I love how you use that comparison because, you know, Jesus tells us to be fishers of men. And that's what you're doing, man. You broaden that net and you, man, you wrapping them in, man. So that's so awesome, bro. That is for real. But so earlier when you was talking about obedience and discipline, you know, help a brother out, man. What's some things that you do that keeps you disciplined, keeps you on the right track, spiritually, physically, you know, also in your music, bro? Because, man, what you've been doing, promotion, marketing, bro, it's been dope. It's been real dope. For real, man. So what's some, and I know you had an ebook also. So is everything I'm seeing and what the people are seeing, is that the steps in your ebook right there?
I mean the obedience thing, it's seeing enough rewards for being obedient just makes you want to be obedient more. You get what I'm saying? So you never see the rewards while you're being obedient. You always see the fruits after, right? It's the same way when you stay diligent in your homework assignment. When you see that A on that test, you're like, man, that. But during this assignment, during the homework, you're like, bro, I don't even want to do this.
Right.
You hate it, right? You hate it in that moment because that's the last thing that you really want to do.
Yeah.
But when you see the result and you see that you got the highest score in the class, you're more motivated to do the next homework assignment and the next one and the next one. So that's kind of how it's always been for me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little bit of a workaholic as well. So that's the thing. I got no problem working hard. You know, that's one of my things, but definitely staying obedient. I know it's a big thing because if he tells you to do something, then he already knows every obstacle that's already going to come in your way.
Right.
He knows what's going to happen before it happens, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, he's already set the provisions for all of those obstacles. You get what I'm saying? Me, I may not know. I'm worried about one thing, you get what I'm saying? But there's other things that I really should be worried about. But as long as I'm staying obedient, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Going back, and you know, I always like to reference history. You know, when it came to Moses, you know, he told Moses to go deliver his people.
Right.
Moses was worried about not being qualified to speak and not being qualified to actually get Pharaoh to do what he wanted.
Yeah.
What Moses wasn't thinking about is all them other trials that he faced during it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He was just thinking about that one fear. But there was a lot more things to be fearful of. You had a whole ocean in front of you that you had to get past.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But all he focused on was being obedient.
Yeah.
You know, and the difference between Moses and us is Moses said no multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else, no. And God kept, no, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was real stern with it. He was real Old Testament with it. You know, we don't have that luxury now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, when he tell us to do something, we got to be the ones to push ourselves.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because he's not going to keep saying it over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we got to keep that to heart and just, man, stay focused and keep pushing.
Man, you absolutely right, man. And, you know, I like your answer, you know, because with everything that you're standing on, you can definitely see the reward, the blessing that that our fathers is giving to you right now, man.
Absolutely.
So heck yeah, man. So that's what's up, man. You're even more of a walking testimony of what the Lord can do, man. Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
Well, so I guess we'll go ahead and dive on into this album. Yeah, man. So if you have not, I don't know what rock you hiding under. I don't know where you been, especially if you're a CHH enthusiast, if that's your genre. But this man literally has one of the dopest albums out right now called The Journey 2. It's a no skip track. He did 300,000? Is that what it was?
300,000.
Yeah. Let me get it right. Don't let me shortchange.
You're right.
Don't let me shortchange my brother now.
Nah, you got it.
Hey, in the first week, 300,000. He's got merch. You can see it all back there. You got the hat on. You got posters. You're gonna buy physical copies. All of that. So that's my little plug before we get going in it. Yeah, man. So with the first one, I'm a full disclosure because Daryl told me about you, right? And when I listened to the first one, I was like, it's cool. It's all right. I was like, it ain't just Mike, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah.
But man, when I heard this one, I was like, oh man, let me step my game up. Let me do a little bit more.
Yeah. You know what? I love that because, and I love your honesty with that because